Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're going to be talking about what are the best breed to tem and why you would want to use them, as well as why you wouldn't want to use them and why they're useless. First, I'm just going to go over why they're useless. If they're going to be useless to you if you're already looking to breed tem, that's 50 chance of female, 50 chance of male, and a 100% spawn rate, right? Because in farming a perfect SV tem, just one per SV, that won't be difficult. Equal chance to get a male and female, and 100% spawn rate. You can just farm that again and again, and it's most likely the most efficient way to do it for that species. And now we're going to talk about why you would want to use them. Now, say if you're going to breed Yowler, right? Yowler already has a 5% chance of spawning, as well as a 5% chance of being a female and a 95% chance of being male. So if you've got a 5% chance of finding the Yowler and then a 5% chance of getting a female, you're not going to want to farm a bunch of male Yowlers to breed with, especially because your rates against females are already so low. You know, you would waste so much time trying to get the perfect SV males and perfect SV females when you could just farm a tem that has 100% spawn rate and a 50% chance of being males. Farm that all out and use those males to breed with the female Yowlers, because the baby is always the species of the female. Now, we can also look at Banshee as another example. Banshees only spawn as female and have a 5% chance of spawn rate. And it is a mental tem. So with Banshee, right, you're going to need to get some more males to breed with. So that's when you would have to find another mental or wind tem that you can breed with Banshee that is a male. Because farming that Banshee spot again and again will be useless. Just because you farm it more doesn't mean there's going to be a male Banshee. It literally does not exist. And another thing that you can do with these tems like Banshee is that you have to breed another half of tem that will be male. That can be the most common wind type that you can breed to get that male half, and you can breed it with a female half of Banshees. And now if we talk about capturing these are low levels, so you know, double cold breezing with whip lumps or poisoning, you may just end up killing them. You know, to start with this, you could use Tem Card Plus. I do not recommend that, as you know, they're super expensive and you're going to need to be catching tons and tons of Tems and hoping that you get lucky at those 50 SVs. I think that just costs, unless you're rich, I really wouldn't bother it. And when I mean rich, right? Like 1 million Panstons, whatever. I really would not bother with that method. It's just going to waste so much money over time, especially if you do multiple breeding projects and stuff. So I would say the best way to capture them is to use whip lumps. No, don't use 2 cold breezes, only use 1. I have my whip lump, has 166 special attack, and it's not one shot in level 12 Tems doing neutral damage. You know, so you can put on that cold buff, and then you can go capturing and raise your chances. And you can just hope you get it with that. I don't think there's any better way to do it, unless you can you go and tame another whip lump and perfectly do their special attack so that you'll be able to double cold breeze a low level tem and it will survive. Now you can use the patches to do this, you know, to stop it at a good amount. You can use special attack patches, which you can get from Takuma. You can just equip it to one of your whip lumps to make sure that special attack does not get any higher, and that it's not gonna, one whip lump won't cold breeze, won't one shot a low level tem, which you could do. I mean, it's not what everyone has to do, because my whip lumps are 5 of like maxed out special attack for the TVs, but their S3s aren't maxed. I don't have perfect whip lumps. If I did, they would be one shotting, so just keep that in mind. I forgot to add here that you can also use hypnosis to put low level Tems to sleep. This way you increase the chance of you capturing them without doing any damage. Now, easiest way to do this is to capture a Orophil and level him up to be able to get hypnosis, or you can also use Lullaby, which is an egg move that you can also breed onto your whip lump. I'll just recommend taming up an Orophil though. Capturing an Orophil, level him up, getting hypnosis, and using that to put the low Tems to sleep rather than freezing them. Now if we move on, we can talk about the first tem we're going to talk about, first breeder one. It's going to be the neutral one, which is the Tatarus. Tatarus have a 60% chance of being males, which is what you're going to be grinding for. So only capture males, do not go for the females unless you're trying to breed Tatarus. You know, if you're going to breed a tem like Yowler, only go for the male Tatarus. Run away from the females, or only capture the male and then run away. They do have a 100% spawn rate, found in the square grass patch just above the Krazine Coast, Indonese. The Tataroos are low levels, normally about level 12s. I'm saying with my Whip Pump, I probably could hit it with one Cold Breeze. They are quite a beefy and tanky tem when they're only level 12. I think they won't be that hard to catch anyway, so I don't think you should have too much problem. If you guys do find it too hard to catch these Tataroos, there is a place in Kasiwa that they do spawn level 30. You can double Cold Breeze these ones to catch them. It'll probably be a lot easier than trying to catch these low level ones. So next we're going to talk about what you'd be using for Fire and Earth. I would say use Volvia here. Even if you're looking to go and breed a Rabia, which has a really high chance of being a male, you're still going to want to have to catch as less of them as possible because they have a much lower spawn rate. Now the Volvias do have an 80% spawn rate, but the other 20% spawn rate is just a evolved version which has the same chances of being male, probably a bit harder to catch. You find these ones in the Alterionesia, top left patch of grass, and that's what I would use for breeding Fire and Earth. Next we'll be talking about water and melee. For water and melee I would use Cypads. Okay, note that these do have a 50% chance of being male or female, so there's no point of catching them if you're already catching one. There's a 50-50 chance, but Cypad is the only one that has a 100% spawn rate and a 50 chance of being male, 50 chance of being female. So he's probably the best one to capture for this, and you find him in his own area or the coast of the Gifted Bridges. Next one we're going to talk about is for nature. Nature, you can use Kaku, also 50 chance of being male, 50% chance of being male, and 100% chance spawn zone. Now, 50% chance, like I said, is only useful if the tem you're breeding has a high chance of being female, and or has a low chance of spawning in, and you want to buying out a bunch of males that you can keep and that you can use. Electric and Wing, Ganky, 50% chance of being male and 100% spawn zone. You know, same as I said for the Kaku. You find them in a diagonal grass strip off the Thalassian cliffs. Most of these are in Denise, keep that in mind, so they will be low levels. For the mental tem, we're going to look at Adorobo or the Berbros, you know, the fine little dragon poison mental guy. We're only using him for mental though, because he does only have a 50% chance of being male, it's pretty normal, but a 35% chance of spawning in. Now, even though this is very low, he is the most common mental tem type, alright? Hocus, you know, is another mental, but I would not recommend that for breeding mentals because it only has a 5% chance of spawning in, and I'm pretty sure it's a higher percent chance of that also being a female. The Adorabus you can find in the Toxolotl Reservoir in the Takma strip of grass. Just a lovely little pink strip of grass. Looks so tasty. Anyways, for Crystal Tents we're going to be using the Lapranite. It's 50% chance of being male and an 85% chance of spawning in if you're encountering it. Again, loads percent chance of spawning in, but if you're going to bring a tem like Gaialis, which has a much lower spawn rate, found in the last same place as the Lapranite as well, so you know, if you're going to go and get Gaialis, I would recommend you catch these guys as well, catch all the males you see, and you can go and use them to breed with the Giannis. I don't see why you wouldn't do that. It'd just be kind of stupid not to. So if you have done that, I'm sorry for calling you stupid, but maybe you should rethink how your brain's computer thinks. Next we've got the Poison. For Poison, Toxolotl is a 50% chance of male. Again, 50-50. If you're trying to catch another tem, that's a 50-50. Would not recommend using Toxolotls, as it's going to be the same chance. Toxolotl does have a 100% chance of spawning in on its own island in the Toxolotl Reservoir in Takma. Now, that'll be it. That's all the tems I've listed. These are actually the best breeders if you're, let's say this again, only if you're going to breed a tem that it's rare. Because these guys are much more common, meaning you can farm up a bunch of these males or a bunch of females and breed one half, and that one half, when you get the final bit, would have to be a male, so you can breed it with the other half female, put them together to be able to be a female. I don't recommend going that far, to be honest. That would be very heavily chance based. I would only recommend using the males and breeding them with the rarer females to get what you want. Now that's it. If you guys could like and subscribe, that'd be greatly appreciated. Without a doubt, I'll see you guys in the next one.